All right, so I have a question here. Do you have any suggestions for nasal polyps? The student writes, apparently I'm going to need surgery because they're pretty severe. That's what's been causing my sinus and nasal issues for quite a while. Okay, so read out that question now, and let me just turn off my slide deck, and we'll talk about some points. So polyps are, Chinese medicine would refer to as abnormal growth. So when you have something in the body that's not meant to be there, that's growing, Chinese medicine just labels it all abnormal growth. How does abnormal growth, how does that come about? Well, when there is sufficient qi and blood flowing through the body all the time, there really isn't abnormal growth because everything is flowing as it should. So we want to look at this like compare it to a river. If the river current is strong, the water level is sufficient, if there's some debris, tree leaves, a little bit of mud, whatever, falls into the river, no problem. The current clears it away. So it's like the body's detoxing, flushing, clearing stuff away. I mean, there's always, waste products. It's just how our body works, right? Like urine, feces, dead cellular material. Our body flushes that away when the body's strong and healthy, right? But if there is a problem with the qi and blood flow, that's when stuff starts to accumulate. So it can be something as simple as like a pimple or, a polyp or even, a tumor. So again, the everything is brushed with abnormal growth, but the root is still the same, that there is insufficient or inadequate qi and blood flow. So the river, we go back to the river analogy, and say the water is supposed to be like this, but then it drops down like this. Then when you see like a river with a low, when the water level's really high, the current is very strong. When the water level goes down, it starts to kind of slow down. And then when it's below like the, normal level, then it's almost like it's barely moving. So the same thing can be happening in the body where if the qi and blood are not flowing as they should, then when you start, like with the river, if more sticks start going into the river, they start to kind of gather in little, pools or of clumps of leaves and debris. And then that starts to interfere with the clearing of stuff because more sticks, once you have like one clump of stuff, then if something gets trapped in it, then it builds up. It doesn't like clear the clump. So it makes it easier for more stuff as the clumps get bigger. And then eventually what happens, it shifts from being like an imbalance at the energy level to actually affecting the physical. So, because the qi is supposed to help propel the blood and the lymph and the food and the air, like everything in the body. And if the qi is weak initially, that's how it starts off at the energy level, then it starts to affect the physical stuff. And then as these things start to get affected, then that's when the abnormal growth can start to manifest in the body. So while, generally speaking, we need to bring the whole body back into balance. So that would be, the number one thing. But there are, something very specific, nasal polyps or something that have formed. We want to get the qi and blood flowing through there. So, obviously my first recommendation would be learn the complete system of Chinese reflexology to bring the body back into balance. But we have, a very acute issue here right now, these nasal polyps that are growing. So we want to get the qi and blood flowing through the sinus and the nose. And we do have reflexology points for that. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. So let's first start with the sinus. So we have our blue foot here. The sinus point is on the tip of the bottom of the big toe. This is the main sinus point, you see. So what you want to do, so I'd say, maybe like you could take your thumb, and it'll be the right width. You want to place that on the top of the foot, the toe, and then you just want to massage side to side, and do that for like 15 to 30 strokes. For the student who's asking, because it is a acute issue, you can do what I call like acute mode. You want to do a little more at first, but then after, so for like maybe a couple of weeks, you can do this every day, say for like 30 side to side strokes. But you don't want to do it long term like this. We want to start looking at how to bring the body back into balance so that these growths start to, the chi and blood start to naturally go back to flowing the right way, like a adequate flow to help, clear this stuff from the body. But this is a good way to start the nudging. So you don't want to continue at this level daily after 2 weeks, because if you're doing too much massage, you start to build calluses, and you don't notice it because it's very subtle and starts to happen, and then it becomes harder to massage the point to actually, get into that area. So after 2 weeks, I would recommend cutting down to twice a week, or maybe 3 times a week max. So that is the sinus point there. And then there's a nose point, which is, guess what? Like big toe is for the head. The nose point is on the side of the foot. So I see you have the toenail here. Right beside the toenail will be the nose point. And if you actually feel along, I'm going to feel my own foot here. There's almost like there's a little depression right below the tip, and it's beside the toenail, like it almost like you can kind of, here's your toe, and then you slide in a bit, like where the flesh is a little, gives away a little more. That's going to be your nose point. And you do the exact same thing. Place your thumb on it and massage side to side. And again, do like 15 to 30 strokes daily, but again, after 2 weeks, stop. And if you feel any irritation on the skin while you're doing this, you want to, you have to like stop. You want the irritation to go away, and then you can massage again. Or you could start also using like a massage oil, because that will help reduce friction and help reduce irritation. So that would be the reflexology points that I recommend to help get the chi and blood to send flowing through the nose and the sinus cavities. But ideally, you want to get the whole body back into balance so that the condition for the polyps isn't there.